It was a brisk autumn evening in New York, the kind where the chill in the air makes you want to huddle closer to your martini. Nick Charles, once a sharp detective now turned semi-retired, was lounging in the opulent living room of their Park Avenue apartment. Nora, his wife with a penchant for adventure, was mixing drinks at the bar, her laughter mingling with the clink of ice against glass. Nick lifted the receiver, his face settling into that unreadable mask he wore when business loomed.
Nick, it's Tommy Walton. I need your help.
It's my partner, George. He's vanished, and with him, the key to my latest vintage, which is set to be the best in years. If I don't find him soon, I'll lose everything.
Nick glanced at Nora, who was watching him with that curious look in her eyes that meant she was already halfway into the mystery.
We'll be up tomorrow.
The next morning, under a sky of steel gray, Nick and Nora drove upstate.
George was last seen 3 nights ago after we had a heated argument about the wine label designs. He stormed out, and no one's seen him since.
The cellar was a labyrinth of barrels and bottles, dust motes dancing in the few slivers of light.
This bottle here, it's been moved recently.
And here, drag marks. Someone was in a hurry or didn't want to be seen.
That evening, they hosted a dinner at the Vineyard, inviting everyone connected to George. There was Martha, George's estranged wife with a sharp tongue, Victor, a local art dealer with an eye for more than just paintings, and Laura, the Vineyard's new winemaker, whose talents were only surpassed by her secrets. Over dinner, the conversation was as sharp as the knives cutting the roast. Nick played the affable ex-detective, but his questions were like darts, subtle yet probing. After dinner, as the group moved to the drawing room for brandy, Asta found something under a couch. A piece of fabric from George's coat. The room tensed.
Seems like George didn't leave willingly, but why hide him here unless you wanted to control something or someone?
It was about the wine labels. George found out I was forging art and I needed to buy his silence, but when he disappeared I thought... But I didn't harm him. I just hid him in the old barn, thinking he'd stay quiet for a while.
They found George, somewhat worse for wear but alive, in the barn, locked in with the missing vintage. The wine, it turned out, was the real reason for the drama. It was worth a fortune. With George safe, the police took Victor away, and Tommy's vineyard was saved. As Nick and Nora drove back to New York, the city lights beckoned through the fog, a promise of more adventures, or at least more cocktails.
So what's next, detective?
Nick smiled, his eyes on the road but his mind already plotting the next mystery.
Whatever comes our way, my dear, as long as it involves a good drink.